Okay, I am going to show you how to take a horizontal design, make it a vertical design, and then take each of the pieces so that they will work in this casserole carrier. So we're going to start with design. We're going to open, and I'm going to go to the casserole carrier and open it. Now what you're going to notice is over where my crosshairs are, that's where the start point is. And that's important. We're going to need to deal with that in a minute. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to baseline, modify. I'm going to take this entire thing and I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to go to rotate. I'm going to go to set my rotation to 90 degrees and enter. Now you'll notice that the start point is not at the crosshair anymore. I'm going to go ahead and baseline, and then I'm going to go to reposition. And what I want it to reposition is the start point back to the crosshairs. Now that I've done that, and now I'm going to baseline, if I go to edit, when I go to duplicate, it's going to place them exactly on top of each other because it's putting that start point on the crosshair. So if you see over here in the workspace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit duplicate until I have 5 copies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go to my house so I can see everything. And I'm going to edit each of these so that there's one file for the start, one file for the left, one file for the middle, one file for the right, and one file for the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and take this top one. No particular reason. I'm just going to take that one. And I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher, New Start and End, and now I'm going to deal with the jumps, where I'm going to go ahead and do my start first. I'm going to jump, and it goes there, and then it's going to go to the Happiness is Handmade, and now this is the outside edge of what used to be the left, and now is going to be the top. That's where I want it to stay. Now I'm going to go backwards and bring the end point. So it's going backwards, it's coming back here, coming back here, coming back here. This is the outside of what's now going to be the bottom. This is part of the middle, again, part of the middle, and that's the end of what I want to be the top. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go to modify, I'm going to go to crop, and I'm going to show you something. After I crop this, notice how right now what's highlighted is at the top. Okay, I'm going to go back to the crop up here. I'm going to change the start and end, and I'm going to baseline. Now you can see it's the bottom one. Just to keep everything straight, I'm going to go ahead and rename this, and I'm going to rename this top. And that way I know that's the top one. I'm going to pick anything else except the top. And now I'm going to do this left side. We're just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to, I can see that I have a baseline here. I'm going to go ahead and baseline that and see how it dropped to the bottom. Once I've made a change like that with the baseline, it drops it to the bottom on the workspace. So now we're going to go to modify. Oh, we're going to go to Pro Stitcher. There we go. Okay, now I want my start point to be here. So I'm going to go, and my end point is where I want it because that's the natural end point of this design. So I can just leave that where it is. So I'm going to just keep jumping. Whoops, I went backwards. Okay. And now it's doing the right side. That's the end of the right side. Okay, that's the beginning of this Happiness Homemade on the left. So I'm going to go to modify, I'm going to crop the start and end, and I'm going to baseline it. And now I'm going to rename this left. And it would help if I could type. So now I've got the top and the left. I'm going to select any of the other ones, doesn't matter which one. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the middle. Go to Pro Stitcher, New Start Knit is still selected. I'm going to jump until, okay, that's the end of the tools, and that's the beginning of the center. Now I'm going to jump backwards until we get probably to this point over here. So we're going to do backwards. That's that right piece, and there it is. Okay, so there's my start and end. I'm going to go to Modify, Crop, New Start and End, and now I'm going to baseline it. So now I've got this, I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to rename it Center. Now I'm going to select any of the other ones. I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher. Now on the right side, the start is exactly where I want it, so all I have to do is change my end. So I'm just going to keep going backwards. And I know that the end of this one is that inside of the happiness is homemade. So I'm going to go to Modify. I'm going to crop the start and end. I'm going to go to base, look at my baseline, rename, and I'm going to change that to right. And then I've got one left, and that is my bottom. So we're going to go to Pro Stitcher, New Start and End. I need to bring my start point over. Now it's doing the middle, and that's the beginning of this bottom piece. I'm going to go backwards, and that is the start of that piece. It should be right there. And we are going to go to Modify, crop the start and end, go and baseline it, rename it, and we're going to rename this bottom. And just to make sure that everything looks the way it should, there's the top, there's the left, there's the center, there's the right, there's the bottom. The last thing I would do at this point is I would go ahead and save my workspace. Actually, I would save my workspace, and then I would name my vertical. So now this workspace is saved, just in case anything happens, but each piece is ready to be stitched out individually. So hopefully that helps. And the other thing, if you really wanted the left and right to, stitch out one right after the other, you could do left and then do your multi-select, left, center, right, and then baseline that group. So then if you wanted to rename that, you could do center group. So now that that's done, because that's the last thing that we changed, you can see how it's the last item in the workspace, and I can't move that up or down. But since we've renamed it, you can tell which piece is which. So there's your top. Oops, turn that off, unselect. So there's your top, there's your center group, and there's your bottom. Hopefully that helps, and good luck with your project. I think it's going to work out great.